Here's a great video of Pepper playing the one-step game. We're working just in the small entryway at the East Moline building, but it's closer to the door than she's used to working, which is a little bit harder. So all that's happening here is that she sits and she looks at me. I'm going to treat her. When she looks at me again, I'm going to take a step. I don't really care about the sit so much as I do her looking up at me. Her looking up at me is the indication that she is ready for me to move forward again. Here she gets a little stuck by the door because she really wants to go through it, and she's just standing there. She's panting. She's a little stressed, but she's just thinking, and as long as she's not escalating and frantic, I'm going to let her have that time to think about it. Nothing else is happening. No one's hurting her, scolding her, or nagging her. And then she chooses to come back and sit and give me that good eye contact, which I wanted. She looked again, so I took one more step forward, and then we move back to do it again. She comes backwards with leash pressure so nicely. She's really starting to understand that the leash pressure just means move with me and cooperate with me, and I love to see it. It's just really hard when we're going forward towards the door, especially that big door that goes outside. That's very exciting and hard. So here she offered that sit, but it's kind of far away from me because she doesn't really want to come back. She wants to get to that door. And I'm just going to wait her out. And again, she's just thinking. This is what I like to call that loading period where she's just kind of trying to figure out what's going on. And I'm not going to rush her through it. I'm going to give her time to just think about it. I need her to be able to do this calm. I don't want her putting pressure on her neck. I don't want her pulling. Here again, she gives a sit, so I'm going to reward that. And then when she looks up at me, I'm going to be able to take one step forward. This was last week. We've made some progress since then because she came back yesterday. And we're still working on these leash manners. But it's hard to undo these old habits. And it's hard to overcome all this excitement and baggage that comes with wearing a leash and going for walks. So we really have to just reset this very simply. I do this one step at a time. Like literally, I'm taking one step and stopping until that's so boring that then I add 2 steps. And then 3. And eventually we'll open that other door. And then we'll eventually maybe try to get outside. But it really is a process. I feel like it can be frustrating for a lot of people because they just feel like they just want to walk their dog. But what dogs are really good at is building momentum. They just start going and they just keep going if we never make them stop and think and settle themselves back down. Now, eventually this gets to the point where you don't really need the treats. She can just look and I can just keep moving here. She's hunting a fly. And then it gets to the point where you can just keep walking and you can just kind of squeeze the leash a little bit if you need your dog to slow down. But I want my dog to stop every time I stop. And if I turn, I want them to turn. I want them to at least be aware that I'm there and that we're walking together because it's not about control. It's about cooperation. And I really just need them to be with me on this. And they have to understand that we don't get to go forward unless we're going forward together. She's doing a really great job. I'm super impressed with her. We just have a bit to go still.